Welcome to the Online Super Coach Podcast. Today, I'm excited to have a young and growing serial entrepreneur. He is only 25 years old, yet he's a serial entrepreneur who has launched 3 successful 7-figure businesses already. So we'll just get right into it. Welcome, everyone. Vash Tomanec.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, great. So I like to start off. We always like to start off here on the podcast asking everybody if you have a phrase or a mantra that you live by.
Yeah, I believe preparation is the key. And I also believe that our subconscious mind is very powerful. So when I'm about to start a day or jump on a podcast like this or interact with my students, my mantra or affirmation is that I always command my subconscious mind to give me the energy, passion, joy, love, and wisdom to go and in this case, deliver incredible podcasts. So I hope everybody will take something valuable from this call today.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's really good. That's really good. Especially the preparation. Who can't argue with that? So Vash, why are you so successful? What do you attribute all of your success to?
Yeah. So I would like to take it back because a lot of people might think, oh, who is this young guy? Probably he had rich parents or he started when he was 12 to entrepreneurship. But that wasn't the case at all. Until still 3 years ago, I was still delivering food for Uber Eats. So I was delivery guy. So nobody's in my family is an entrepreneur. I didn't have a capital. I had to earn my own money with delivering food. But what was the turning point was almost this hunger or desire was born in me because I always wanted to have business. And a lot of people want to have online business or coaching business or whatever it is, but they don't have enough motivation to start. So 5 years they've been saying one day I will start. But then one day I'm delivering the food and I meet these other delivery guys who are much older, 40s, 50s, and they're just so unhappy about life. They can't provide what they want for their families. They don't have enough free time to be with their families. And in that point, I'm just like, no more. And this almost fire was burning inside of me. And that's when I decided, hey, something needs to change. And that's when I followed what I now call 4-step formula, which is I first identify my vision. A lot of people don't know what they want. That's why they can't get it. But what is the first thing you do when you open Google Maps, where you want to go? So that was first. I set a goal. Mine was I want to hit $10,000 a month with my business in the next 90 days. Second was what is the reason why? A lot of people don't know why they want their goal. That's why they easily give up at their first obstacle.
They don't know why. I knew.
Yeah, they said, oh, it will be cool or it look good on Instagram.
Yeah.
But there is no like deeper reason, something like they will never give it up. Then third is you need to take some action steps. It's not about hoping you will get there. So I call it 90-day challenge where I committed to take 3 actions every single day that can be closer to my goal, whether it's financial goal, fitness goal, doesn't really matter. But I set 3 things I will do daily every single day to get closer. To just for perspective, my first business is marketing agency. So I would send 10 personalized videos to potential customers. I knew if I get a meeting, I need to close them. I'm not good at sales. English is not my first language. So I would study 2-hour sales, get really good at it. And third was 15-minute visualization to make sure that I basically am already see it as happening in my mind. And that was first step. And fourth step, last step that a lot of people miss is who I need to become to get there. Because a lot of people try to create new life by staying the same person, having the same bad habits, having the same old limited thoughts and trying to create more money, better business, whatever it is. But it never works because I was shy, insecure, fearful. That guy would never build 10K business. So I had to ask myself, who would the future self be? And to my best abilities, be him now. And this is the 4-step framework I use with myself and others to achieve any goal.
That's fantastic. So set a goal that I totally live by. I try to set annual, quarterly, weekly, and daily goals. Every single day I go like, this is what I want to get done today. This is what I want to get done this week. And you just keep moving along, and you just keep taking a step back, looking at the bigger, wider picture of like in the next quarter, in the next year, where you want to be on all different fronts too, not just in a specific business, but even in your personal life where you want to be, and then just planning out like what you need to do to get there. So I absolutely agree with like all of your steps here. Step one, having a good reason why, that's important too. You're 100% right, because if you're building it on sand, if it's not something you really want to do, then it's not a strong foundation, and you may not like keep going forward with it. It's not going to be something worthwhile for you to keep going. But if it got a really rooted, deep cause and for why you want to move forward with it, then that's critical to doing anything, right? And then action steps. I love your action steps. It's when you break it down that way, 3 steps per day for 90 days. It seems very attainable. Who can't do 3 things every day, that brings them closer to their goal. And then after 90 days, that's what 90, that's 270 steps towards, that's a lot of steps. So that's really, 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 really good. And then lastly, who do you need to become to get there? That's a little bit deeper than the other 3. So could you elaborate more on who did you need to become to get there?
100%. So I will repeat that. The life we live right now, the bank account we have, the partner we have, the health we have, whether it's good or bad, was created by us. I don't want people to blame economy, parents, friends. We've created it by our decisions. So it means if we want to create new life, more money, better business, better health, better partner, we need to change us first. And that's what a lot of people miss. They continue their life with bad habits, expecting to get better results. And so when I look back on my old self, insecure, fearful, fear of rejection, what other people will think of him. Then another one was, I was watching Netflix for hours and hours. I was postponing, procrastinating. So that guy would never make 10 grand a month. He would never build a successful business. So I took a piece of paper and I wrote down what thoughts would the future self Vash would have. And first one was, for example, he easily charged $2,000 per month for his service because he delivers incredible value. His previous thought or old thought was, can I even do this? The market is saturated, these type of things. Then behaviors, he wakes up early, he meditates, he's focused. He's not on social media unless it's growing the business. So I wrote down a few behaviors, and then I wrote down a few feelings that he feels confident. He feels courageous. And just to my best abilities, I would try to be the new self as much as possible. So I couldn't watch Netflix 5 hours and expect to build 10K business.
Right.
It's a mismatch.
That's great. That's great. Where did you learn that from? Like, how did you think of, in the grand scheme of things, it seems like a very simplistic thing, but nobody does that. Nobody pulls themselves out of their skin and kind of thinks like, these are and are that humble and honest with themselves in saying out loud that these are the things that I don't like about my life, my personality, and those things are not in line with who I want to become. So I need to stop doing these things and I need to work hard to become these things. Where did you think to do that?
That's a great question. So when I started, the thing is, I invested in a course that taught me how to start the marketing agency. And I had all the information, but I wasn't applying it. And big thing came to my mind was, it's no longer about what you know, it's about what you apply. And it was big because nowadays information is everywhere. You're one YouTube video away from basically knowing exactly what you need. But it's more about the application. I always give the example, everybody knows how to get in shape, but how come in certain countries obesity is at its highest level? Because it's not about what you know, it's about what you apply. And I was having this information, and back then I met my now business partner and best friend, but back then he was my mentor, who basically coached me one-on-one. And he told me, Vash, stop looking for the secret tactic to grow your business, because I was always upset. What is the email script, or what is the best tactic to grow it? And he said, stop, Vash. You know what to do, but your fears, procrastination, doubts are holding you back. And he told me, if you want to change your life, you need to change yourself. And that's when I was like, oh, shit, that's right. And that's when I had to start changing myself. And anytime I want to upgrade my life, I upgrade myself first, and then life follows.
I like that too. Anytime I want to upgrade my life, I upgrade myself first, and then the life follows. That's a quote and a half if there I've heard one. That's terrific. So talk to me about, I want to get to your most recent venture, your most recent business that you're getting to. But let's start from the first one. Like, talk to me about what that business is, who you serve, what you exactly do. Talk to me about that one.
Yes. So we are serving basically online businesses, mainly e-commerce or coaches, and we are helping them with Facebook, Instagram to grow it. So we basically generate them revenue, and the tools we use are paid advertising. And going back to the story, I did the 3 actions for 63 days. So I sent 630 personalized videos to people. And what happened?
Wow.
Nothing. No meeting, no clients, no money. And I know very likely most people would give up. This doesn't work. Yeah, there is no point wasting my time. But I knew that my time is coming. I knew that each video is making me better. So I achieved the 10K goal, but it happened the last 2 weeks of the 90 days. So
really,
just for people not to get discouraged, because I call it the hockey stick effect. Because when you take hockey stick, 95% of the hockey stick is flat line. But then the last 5% is just shooting straight. And that's same. I experienced that even in business, that for 95% of days, I had no clients, but then in the last bit, it shoot. But most people never get to that point because they get discouraged and they give up. So this business continued. I continued to scale it. I hit the $1 million mark with that. And basically, during that point, I started to optimize, because that wasn't my passion. It was more like, it became more like cash flow business, we could say. And people started coming to me. Hey, how come you did it so fast? Can you coach me?
Yeah.
And that's when I started coaching them. And 95% of it was mindset. It wasn't specific tactics. And that's when I decided with the first mentor, set up what is now called Mindtrepreneur, which is our coaching company, which is now helping over 1,000 entrepreneurs basically grow their businesses, live more fulfilled lives by mastering their mindset. So
that's the most recent
kind of
one, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So it's essentially just taking the thing. So that's what you're really interested in. That's where you're like, yeah, that's where you're really, that's tickling your fantasy. That's what you're really into, right?
Exactly. That's my passion. That's why I'm automating my other businesses, to make sure that I can pour my heart into, because just the testimonials, I love to read them and help people.
How are you getting your clients from? Like what sources of client attraction are you implementing currently?
Yeah, so we've tested loads. Like until recent, what worked really well was paid shout outs on Instagram. So let's say these motivational pages, we would pay them and they would feature us on their page, which has hundreds of thousands of followers. From there, appointment setter on Instagram, appointment setters books a call and we close them, or our sales guy closed them. That worked really well until then basically the cost didn't justify it. So we still do now Instagram ads. So only Instagram ads. Let's say DM us 10K, DM us this. So it's short ad with call to action, DM us something. On Instagram, we have appointment setters who book the call and sales guys close them. That I would say is probably 30% of source traffic. Then we have VSL. So Facebook in ads going to VSL, book a call. And then, of course, email and other things like even YouTube channel, but mainly is the Instagram or the VSL with Facebook ads.
DSL is also like around a third of your client attraction.
I would say so.
Interesting. So, with the marketing part of the business, because I think my listeners would probably be most keen to hear about, how you help your clients grow from the marketing side and also the mindset side. I think that's another part of it. So, you said is it mostly just on the ads on the first company that you had? Is that you still have? Is that you do mostly on Facebook ads, or you do any organic? Like you teach them how to do like organic posts? Like, could you just provide a little more specificity on like what types of marketing you help them with? Is it the shout outs?
Yeah. So far, the best still and most predictable we could say is the Facebook and Instagram ads, because you basically put money in and am I getting money back? With organic, I think a lot of listeners can relate. It's like you get few likes, even if you have bigger audience, then maybe Reels used to work until I think 3 months ago very well, that you post Reel and sometimes it went viral or reach new audience. Amazing. But now I believe even the listeners can see that the views are dropping. So that's why we are not big or organic. It's more, we get the people inside the ecosystem. It could be from the ads, for example, and then warm them up with Instagram stories, nurture them,
Right.
but almost using organic to acquire totally new customers or totally new followers. It's, from our experience, it's a very inefficient way nowadays. Like
Gotcha.
if people have capital, then Facebook ads is the way to go for us.
Gotcha. And then about the mindset, what would be an ideal client for you? Like who would really fit the description of someone who you feel like you could help the most?
Yeah, because again, and this is a big tip for everyone listening, some coaches have only, let's say, one course or one offer, which at the beginning is okay, but some people are willing to pay more. Some people are at different stage of their journey. So we have the value ladder. So we serve people from beginners who can buy something for just few bucks, we could say. We have programs for people who want to reach their first 10K. We have programs for people who are already at 7 figures, and we have one-on-ones for people who are above the million. So because we have such a range of products, because especially our programs or our teachings apply to everyone, we could say, then basically we come a person, he's beginner, okay, here you go. Somebody comes, he's advanced, here you go. And therefore we can accommodate almost everyone who is willing to invest in themselves and have a business. So that's what I would recommend, because if you have $1,000 course, then the person can spend maximum $1,000. But what if you have 1,000, then 5K package, some people will take it. And then you had 15K mastermind. All of a sudden, instead of paying 1K, he paid you $21,000.
Yeah. They're doing the whole thing. That's really, really good. So is it mostly like course creators, or is it
entrepreneurs in general? We have people who have e-commerce stores, traders, brick and mortar. We have coaches, consultants. So I would say the unifying factor where 80-20 is, it's online business.
What is the biggest common obstacle you see? So like, let's say someone comes into your course, and what's the most, obviously a lot of it, maybe every person has a little bit different situation going on in their business, but what's the most common trick? Like, for instance, like what your mentor told you about, for earlier on about fixing, you got to change who you are. What's the most common thing that you implement with your clients coming to your program that you see like results? Not necessarily for everybody, but for the most common one that maybe our audience could, he's right. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I would say it was the 4-step formula I shared, because And the biggest one, I would say, is knowing where you want to go, because some people are very vague. I want to make money online. What does it mean? You know? So
Right.
crystal clear vision. And second is really, I haven't seen many courses, especially in entrepreneurship, that give you step-by-step plan.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people know they should do outreach. A lot of people know they should do something, but they don't know how many, how long. So I
Right.
think the key is really, as I said, with the 3 steps. What are 3 actions you can do day by day that baby step will compound over time? It could be 2 hours you will work on your course to make it better. Maybe hour you will study sales. Maybe one will be that you will wake up early each morning.
Right.
You know, and this helps so many students because they are finally like, oh, so I just need to follow a few steps and get there. Yes, because the other fluff is no longer important. Like I had logo done in Canva in 5 minutes, while some guys spent 2 weeks on the logo. You know, they have the most pretty website, but nobody goes there. That sometimes people obsess about the unimportant things, especially at the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
so I focus on my 3 actions. Once those go done, perfect. Let me design logo. Let me do other things. But let's first complete the most important 3 tasks.
Yeah, we teach the same thing about, clients coming in, like a trainer coming in, he wants to create a logo or website. That is not, let's just get some clients first and get some money coming in, and then you can figure out what the next step would be. But it's certainly not the logo and the website. So that's for brand. You don't have a brand. You gotta get some clients. You gotta get some business before you get a brand. So I totally understand, and we preach the same thing there. So going back to this part of the course that you do, is this what you do? Is that what you meet with the clients and then you kind of help them figure out what 3 steps that they could do on a daily basis? Is that like you kind of like talk to them about their business, their routine, and what their goals are? Is that what you do? You help them figure out what their goal is, and then you help them figure out like what 3 steps they could be doing for 90 days?
Yeah. So let's say in the higher courses, we help them customize it completely to them.
Oh, wow.
And we even hold them accountable. So every day they need to message us,
Yeah.
I've done it. If they haven't done it, there is punishment in a way. So basically we hold them accountable, because most online businesses are them in their room, in their office. And if they miss a task, miss a day, nothing is happening because nobody's behind them or with them. So we create this accountability that's huge. In the lower programs, we basically give them the structure, which I like is one activity that grows the business. So choose one thing that will grow the business, maybe 10 DMs, 10 emails, 20 something, something that grows the business. One, you want to study a skill set. So it could be sales, it could be marketing, copywriting, it could be speaking better at cameras, just some skill set. And third should be some habit that will help you get there. Maybe for some waking up early, for some meditation, for some it's exercising regularly. And so this is what we kind of give more general advice in the lower programs. As the courses go higher, there is more and more accountability and customization.
Gotcha. Now, and how have your clients fared going through your program? I mean, do you have any wins or great stories to share with my audience?
Yeah, we have actually 150, I think, video testimonials. We are
wow.
having plenty wins, and usually they are the similar. So one of them is that people message, I've done more in a week than in the past 3 months, because finally they have a plan. Because when people have clarity, they know what they need to do. Most people are disciplined enough, especially you usually do coaches. They are going to gym, they're training, they're disciplined.
Right.
But if they don't have direction, then they tend to default to social media, procrastination, Netflix. So just giving them clarity finally is just next level. So people usually message us, hey, I've done more in a week than in the past few months. And second, usually people say, which is so interesting, that most people get the results around the 60, 90 mark, 60 day. And so we warn them, hey, just accept that maybe next 60 days, nothing is going to happen. And And just that we don't promise them to become billionaires tomorrow. They have clear expectations. So if it's day 50 and they're not seeing a huge progress, they still know it's part of the game. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. And then day 70, boom, they get exactly what they wanted. Day 80, they get it.
Right.
Um,
Right.
So yeah.
I
So
just had
that's
one
kind of
one other question about back earlier on. You were mentioning how what got you on the path to go in this direction is you invested in a marketing agency, a marketing I guess program to learn about this.
Mhm.
I was just curious, like what led you to this was, I guess, after you came to that point where I don't want to keep doing this, but how did you get from I don't want to, keep delivering and be turn out to be like that guy? How did you get from that point to decide that you want to go into this marketing program? And secondly, how much was that program, and how like was that a big risk for you to take to kind of go into it? Like I'm interested in hearing,
Mhm.
how you just had the nerve and the cojones to kind of go after it,
Yeah. So for me back then, it was definitely the biggest investment I've made in myself.
Right.
From there, I probably invested $300,000 in myself only in
Wow.
coaches. So I'm a big believer in that because I believe that success is not coincidence. You know, like if somebody is successful
Keep
in
learning. Yeah.
business,
Keep growing.
exactly. So to me, I just knew, okay, who is at the 10K mark where I want to be? I found this guy. It was $1,500 back then, most money I've ever invested. I hit 10K. I wanted to get to 50K, so I invested in a guy who was at 50K. Then I
Right.
wanted to scale to 7 figures, so I went to the guy who,
And it was a
and
lot of money for, Uber Eats, right?
100% I had to I used my savings, but I knew that every dollar put in myself, nobody can steal it from me.
It's yours.
Nobody, you know? And I always tell people never look at the price tag, always look at the value tag. What do
Right.
I mean by that? Some people look at TV, $500, say, oh, that's cheap. To me, that's expensive because I will spend there 5 hours a day watching Netflix where I could be building my dream. So the real price tag of that TV, in my case, is maybe $500,000, you know? On the
Yeah.
other hand, when we look at, for example, the course or program that costed $1,500, what was the real value if it helped me make 7 figures? So I'm now looking always when I'm buying something, especially if it's a larger amount, what's the real value? Because sometimes the price tag is very different from the value tag.
I absolutely love that. I love don't look at the price tag, look at the value. You have like so many of these little nugget quotes here. Every 2 minutes, you give me another one. That's
Yeah.
another really good one. And we say that all the time in different sales courses and different things. That's like, for instance, if you're talking to somebody who doesn't have, that much money at all, and you say, I have this car here that I want to sell you, that's $10,000, which is way more money than they could ever afford. But it's a Ferrari and it's a brand new Ferrari. And you have 24 hours to get the 10K. You'll figure out how to get the $10,000 because the value is so much higher than what than the $10,000. So that's exactly right. So if you say $10,000, yeah, that might be a lot of money for you, but in comparison to what the value is, I say that all the time. So this is really, really, really a lot of great nuggets here. So what's next? Is there going to be a fourth company? What's the next thing?
No, as I said, for me, the Mindtrepreneur, the coaching business is where my heart is. So now it's just about taking to the next level, because I believe our focus can get in multiple places, and the most powerful way is to channel it in. That's why I'm systemizing, optimizing the other businesses and putting my effort into this. So really scaling not only the business, but scaling my skills, because I truly believe that I put so much effort in being the best coach I can be. And that again helps get students better results, then they spread the word, then all of a sudden we scale the business. So I'm investing a lot of time in improving myself again, upgrading myself, as I said, and really taking my entrepreneur to the heights it deserves to be. We are doing also 2 free masterminds in person a year, which turn out to be really amazing. Just, online is amazing.
Where are those masterminds? Or where are you located?
So I'm in Europe. So I'm finishing the day here in Europe, in Prague, in the Czech Republic is the country.
Yep.
And we usually do them around the world, wherever we find nice villa. And that's 4-day immersion. So I've been really enjoying them because the personal contact with people is just next level compared to online. Online is great, but if once in a while we can meet with the students in person, it's just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been a fantastic conversation I've had with you. I mean, I really agree with like 100% of everything you say. I live by a lot of these ideals myself personally. I can't advocate for what you're doing anymore just because I really, before we kind of connected, through email, whatever, I really didn't know anything about you, but this is like a total very synergistic situation here. So everything from how persistent you are with continuing to work towards your goals and having the foresight to figure out, to listen to your mentor and, and change who you are at that core, and that 4-step approach, the 4 steps were setting a goal. I think you said, figuring out what the real reason is, like why what was the core, the foundation of it. What was the third one? It was
3 actions you can
3
take
action
daily.
steps per day to lead you to that goal. And then who do you want to be, right? Like who does it want to be? So I think all of those are like really, really great. And all the other nuggets that you gave, don't look at the price, look at the value. If you want to change your life, you gotta invest in your. What was the one you said before? Like how you want to change, if you want to.
If you want to upgrade your life, you need to upgrade yourself first.
If you want to upgrade, and then your life follows. Exactly. That's another great one. So this was a treasure trove of stuff you've shared with us. If my audience thank you very much. If my audience wanted to connect with you or find you somewhere or reach out to you, how would they go out about doing that?
Yeah, the best platform would be Instagram. So you will find me at Vash, VASH_Tomanec, TOMANEC. If you have any questions on whatever I said, just shoot me a DM there. And if you want to find out more about Mindtrepreneur, it's mindtrepreneur.com, which is mindset and entrepreneur together.
That's great. That's great. And we'll put the Instagram link in the feed.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
amazing.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'm sorry to keep you up so late, but thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man.
No problem.